there, I'm Maddie, you can call me Madeleine, and welcome to a new video. Since last time I talked to you guys, a lot has happened. We're currently in lockdown, so my life kind of changed from being able to go to classes every day like I did in my last video to now having everything online. I decided to show you guys how I study, how I organize, how I plan my days when everything is online, when everything is weird. It definitely is something to adapt to, but I feel like I've got quite a good routine now and I wanted to share that with you. So welcome to this video. I've split this video off into two parts. The first part is how I study and stay productive, and the second part is how I organize and stay productive. Basically covering how I use Notion, how I use Google Docs and Google Calendar. Important to know before starting to watch this video is that I structure my days into bits. Basically differentiating how I do my full day, because you don't want to say all day in school. Before, obviously, you used to go to lectures, you used to go to tutorials, now everything is online, so you want like some sort of difference in your day, not just being in one place all the time. And I do that through morning, day, and evening study. And I'll show you guys where I am in those kinds of times, and I'll also show you how I study for all the things that I try to achieve in a day. Also, super exciting, this video is sponsored by Grammarly. Grammarly is a digital writing assistant that has helped me become a better writer. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Grammarly has helped me so much in my academia, but also in other parts of my life. Like when I wrote my ebook, I used Grammarly. Throughout this video, I'll show you guys how I use Grammarly in my studies, both on Google Docs and through the app that I have installed. And if you haven't downloaded Grammarly already, what are you doing? It's a free Chrome plugin. You can go to grammarly.com/Madeleine to sign up for a free account and get 20% off Grammarly Premium. That's it. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Hello there. It's the early morning. It's currently, honestly, it's not even that early. It's 8:17. I've been sitting on my computer since about 7:50. I like to start my mornings quite early just because I am an early bird. So I like to start my mornings with drinking some coffee and doing some chill work. And essentially what I mean by this is that since I'm drinking my coffee, eating breakfast, I like to keep it quite simple. Right now, I was just reading through this text for one of my modules that I'm writing a essay in. It's very simple and you can do it while eating, so I'm getting that like hour of study in, which I can check off on the end of the day, because I've actually done like an hour of study. In my morning lecture, I'm either reading and taking notes or watching a lecture and taking notes. And the way I do that is that I split my screen in half, so it's possible to have your notes or document or wherever you're writing on one side, and then the professor talking or the reading that you have on the other. Or I would bring up my handy notes and I would write whilst watching the lectures. And because my lectures are broken into 2 to 5 20 to 30 minute bits, I like to organize my notes either on computer or paper accordingly. And basically I have a 20-minute bit called 7.1. I have the notes under that, another 20-minute bit called 7.2, notes under that. So this is one 20-minute bit, this is another 20-minute bit, and this is actually two 20-minute bits. However, I kept it together because this is one part of the material, not two. It's very organized and it's easy to find back to things because you know exactly like what topic you're talking about. After our morning study, I head to school and do my school study session. Alright, I'm currently in school. I just arrived and I'm gonna go up to the library floor and start my studying by doing some tutorial work, which is the first part of my day today. Let's do that. Alright, let's talk about the first part of what I do in my school study session, which is tutorial work. Tutorial work is basically hand-ins or preparatory stuff I need to do before all of my tutorials. Sometimes it does count about 10% of your grade, like all of them combined, so it is important to do well. I will do this in school throughout the day that I'm spending at university, and normally these are case studies I need to answer to, questions about the lecture I need to comment on, or other activities in regards to the course material I need to do. And I always try to do my tutorial work not too long after the lecture, so the material is decently fresh in my head, but also pretty close to the tutorial itself so that I remember everything well. How I do it is that I bring up my notes from the lecture and readings and open a Drive document and copy in the questions or activities I need to prepare and start writing ahead. Because I Grammarly installed as a Chrome extension, whilst writing up my tutorial work on Google Docs, I simultaneously get writing recommendations, helping me improve my writing from basic spelling and grammar checking to more advanced features like providing synonyms and concise suggestions. After finishing this tutorial prep document, I'll hand it in if that's required. Then I'll use it as a split screen whilst I'm in my tutorial. For me at least, this enables better participation because I can speak freely as the material is fresh in my head, but whenever I'm in doubt, I'll just look over to what I've written, find it really easily, and yeah, it's good for tutorials. And by having this document open, whenever my teacher comments on something that I've written or that I'm saying and corrects me or says something really interesting, I'll instantly go over the document with green text, and then when I'm revising at the end of the year, I'll know exactly what the tutorial leader corrected me on, what he said was really important to know. Keep it in green so you know exactly what it is your professor said and what you wrote in your notes. It's a little trick that I've learned over the years. Alright! Oh, I forgot to push the button. Wow, this elevator is really loud. Is that a normal sound? I don't know. It's currently the middle of the day. I've just finished my tutorial work and I'm gonna go down, eat something, and then I'm gonna go ahead and work on some coursework. These are the hand-ins you deliver that count towards your grade, or not always, but most of the time, you know, those you work on for a month and then you deliver it and then you just pray for the best. Obviously, these courseworks come in all shapes and sizes, but there are certain guidelines that I follow when I do it that I will now share with you guys. First, I create a brief overview of the arguments that I want to have in my essay on Google Docs, like introduction, main body, main arguments, discussion, and conclusion. And then I write some notes down about what I want to say in each part. After that, I start researching and writing in each part in the Google Docs file, using Grammarly along the way, just as I did in my tutorial work, to help me with my writing. Because I've upgraded to Grammarly Premium, when writing coursework, I'm also able to access some of Grammarly's more advanced features, like vocabulary suggestions, replacing boring and bland words with more effective and exciting ones, and Clarity AI, a feature that helps me improve clarity and cut down unnecessary words for more effective communication. This is a must for students writing important texts, just like coursework that will be delivered and marked. Lastly, I make sure that I've applied to all the requirements required of my coursework. For example, that my word count is not outside the 5% margin of error. The final thing I do is I upload my text document to the Grammarly app on my computer, running it through the program, making sure that my language is coherent, there's no mistakes between English and American. You know, I tend to do those kinds of things. I write words in different ways. Inside the Grammarly editor, I get access to the plagiarism detector, ensuring that my text is fresh and original and that I haven't forgotten to quote anyone anywhere. This is another one of the features of Grammarly Premium, and I believe it's a must for all students to have. And then I submit it. I just finished uni today. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna relax for a little bit, and then I'm gonna start my evening study. Let's go! Alright, we're back home. My hands are still quite cold, even though I just washed them. It's so cold outside, but we're going to be starting the evening study session, so let's go. Since I'm going to study, I'm going to put my hair back up in a ponytail. Wait a second, this will have to do. Right, I'm quite tired. After a full day, I'm quite tired when I get back home, but I like to get that last final hour in. I already showed you how I do my readings and lectures during the morning part of my study session, and I do these during the morning or the school day, and therefore when I get back here, it's normally just the final part of the lecture that's done. However, watching a lecture or reading a reading is just half the process. The other half, for me at least, is organizing my notes in a clear and structured way. How I showed you how I do that, let's go. Welcome to my course Consumer Behaviors little homepage, I guess you could say. Here I have all of my lectures organized. In Notion, you can kind of put in this table of different things. I had the weeks, the titles of each of the different lectures, and all of them start with the number of the lecture. I also have what topic the week is concerning and the class mode, if it's a tutorial, if it's a lecture, and lastly if I've uploaded my notes to the page. So let's open one of them and see how it looks. First, I put in the goals of the curriculum, so basically just copying and pasting what my teacher wants us to learn that week. And then if I've done the lecture, if I've done the reading, I have done the reading, so I'm going to tick that off. And then I upload my notes as a PDF from my phone to my Notion. I'm also going to show you guys one that doesn't have picture notes, but instead of when I take my notes by computer. This is the homepage of my government module, so let's go down. This is the exact same setup as before. Here we have the goals of the lecture. As in the marketing module, we have lecture and readings. I should probably do these readings, and then we have the lecture notes, lecture notes. And finally, let me show you how I do my readings. Readings are definitely not as organized, however, they do have some type of structure. Here's the week, title, a little comment to myself, some tags about what the text is, if it's a textbook, article, book, and then how to quote. So let's open this one. I basically do it like this. I just quote interesting things that are applicable to my module. If I have an exam or if I have coursework, I was going to go back to this and then quote quote it from there basically. And last but not least, after I finish doing the whole reading that I couldn't finish in school, or walk through the whole lecture that I couldn't finish in school, and organized it all, I will then go on to do any additional things like tutor meetings or sending out emails or doing societal things that I have with my school. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna go and jump into my bed because I'm tired. It's been a long school day. Woohoo! We've arrived to the second part of this video, which is how I organize and stay productive. You guys have been asking me like crazy to show you guys my Google Calendar, my Google Docs and Google Drive, and also my Notion. I won't give you a full tour of everything today, that would take way too long, but what I will do is I will show you how I use it to help me plan my days, to make sure that everything I have to do is listed and that I do everything that I need to do. For me at least, it's very important to make sure that I have a calendar and a plan for each day so that the days don't blur together, which I tend to do when you're not like having a set routine and having a set calendar. Here's the two platforms to explain a bit more detail. First, let's get into Notion. Notion is definitely my favorite platform to just set up everything that I need to do during a day. How I structure my week is through this week ahead calendar that I set up. It looks like this. It's super colorful, and the reason is that all the colors are connected to the subject. So for example, this subject is purple, this one is green. So I instantly know what course I need to do work for when the color is, for example, purple or when it's green. And that's basically how I structure my weeks on Notion. And by setting up my schedule like this, I see all the things that I need to do during a day, but I don't have to do them all accordingly. So yeah, definitely I need to do my 9:30 tutorial at 9:30, but the rest of this basically is just whenever I feel like it, you know? As long as I do it during the day. What's also super helpful about this kind of setup is that if I don't complete something during one day, I'll just move it over to the next one, like so, and I'll have to do it then. I also have this very lovely main assignments to complete file. Whenever I do something or I need to do something, or when it's done, I just pop them into this. I don't know, I don't use this often, but it's very good to have a brief overview of the main assignments that I have currently. Last but not least, on my Notion, I have this little schedule ahead. It basically just concerns things that I have to do, when things are due, when I'm gonna stop doing them, when we're gonna start doing them. And yeah, that's my university setup. That helps me keep organized, help me structure my days and organize my days, because I can basically just tick things off when I've done them and move things over to other sections of the week when I don't feel like doing them. Next up is Google Calendar. My Google Calendar has definitely seen better days, but basically what I do here is I put in the things that I have to do during a week. So for example, tutorial that I have to attend, this is another tutorial that I have to attend, the workout that I had planned, it's another workout that I had planned. Just to make sure that I don't like double book anything, I like to make sure that whenever I have an hour scheduled for one person or an hour scheduled for a tutorial, I don't double book anything. I like to do that through Google Calendar, and whenever I've booked something on Google Calendar, I also make sure to set it into my Notion, because I don't check my Google Calendar in every morning. I do check my Notion every morning, however, so I make sure to put it on my Notion as well. Same with this part of my week. This is all my tutorials scheduled. I might have a workout actually around here, so let's put that in. Workout. Last but not least is my Google Drive. I do use it for all my courseworks and often my tutorial works as well. I have semester 1, and then inside I have my courses. And then you click each box, and inside here all my courseworks and some of my tutorial work are for each of my courses. It's very simple. It's just a way to organize my different courseworks so that I know where they are. I did the exact same thing last year. Here's term 1, all my courses, organizational behavior. Here we have all those things. It's very simple. The setup is basically just all organized into folders, but having folders there makes sure that I know exactly where everything is, and it's super easy to find where things are, basically. And yeah, that's the applications that I use when I study for university. They help me keep productive, they help me stay organized, and they're really good applications. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things. Make sure to like this video and give me a comment, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!